Hey everybody, Doug here from the Wilderness Files. This is video 2 of Random Wilderness Wednesdays, where I spin a virtual wheel with 806 entries, one for each of the 806 wilderness areas in America, and it lands randomly on one of them. And then we're going to delve into that wilderness area, where it is, what its characteristics are, and maybe it will become a place that you will decide to visit. I know the last one we did, the first video I did on this, I tanked, by the way, because I didn't put a description or a title in the video. But I won't do that again. If you haven't seen that one, we landed last time on a wilderness area called Upper Burrow Creek, which is in northwestern Arizona. It's not an area that I had heard of before, but it turned out to be a pretty interesting place. Definitely on my short list of wilderness areas to go visit. Has a perennial desert stream with swimming holes and canyons and very remote, definitely my kind of place. So it was kind of interesting to learn about that one. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and spin this wheel now and see where we land again. Okay, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. It's going to land on a number between 1 and 806, and it will correspond to a random wilderness area. No do-overs. Whatever it lands on is the one that we're going to look into. So here we go. Spinning the wheel, 1 to 100, or 1 to 806. Let's see what it lands on. By the way, while we're waiting, Crack for Trout Bums, buy it today on Amazon. That's my book. All right, what did we come up with? 276. Okay, so let's see what wilderness area is associated with 276. 276 is a place called Trey Mountain. I have not heard of Trey Mountain, so this is another one that I'm not familiar with. So let's scroll over and see where this place is. It's a small one, 10,000 acres, established in 1986. It is a Forest Service and State Department of Natural Resources area. It's in the state of Georgia. This is an eastern wilderness area. Okay, this is going to be different. Trey. Oh, you know what? I think I kind of know of this place. I used to live in Georgia. It's coming back to me a little bit. I think I previously was familiar a little bit with Trey Mountain Wilderness. I haven't been there, I can tell you that. As I said before in my last video, the single best online resource for wilderness research is wilderness.net. I am, however, working on a series of books. Hopefully I'll be able to get them published. Reference books that will put all of our wilderness areas into a single printable book or ebook that I'll be able to make available. It's going to take me a while to put that together. But anyways, we're going to get into Trey Mountain. Okay, we're here on wilderness.net. So I'm going to go to Visit Wilderness and search for a wilderness. We're going to put in Trey Mountain. I think this is going to be an Appalachian wilderness area, and it might be near the Appalachian Trail. 10,343 acres, and let's see what it says. 4,430 feet, Trey Mountain dominates the southern portion of this rugged wilderness, which straddles the crest of the Blue Ridge. From up high, fast-flowing streams tumble down narrow gorges and over many waterfalls. 41 miles of trout streams in Georgia. That's pretty cool. Georgia happens to be, by the way, again, I wrote a book about trout. Georgia happens to be the southernmost extent of the native range of brook trout. So there is native trout fishing in the Appalachian Mountains in Georgia for brook trout. So 41 miles of trout streams produce rainbows and browns. Those would be introduced species. You'll see remnants of past logging operations, mostly abandoned roads. The Appalachian Trail follows the crest of the Blue Ridge for 16.5 unusually level miles from Unicoi Gap to Dix Creek Gap, with a shelter at Trey Mountain. So this wilderness area, the Appalachian Trail, actually runs through this wilderness area. So a lot of people, if you've hiked the Appalachian Trail or the Georgia part of the Appalachian Trail, you might be familiar with this area. That's interesting. Okay, so let's pull up the map here and see what it looks like and where it's at. This is an interactive wilderness map. Yeah, sure enough, the Appalachian Trail runs right through the middle of this wilderness, the Trey Mountain Wilderness. The only wilderness area I've hiked in Georgia, if I can find it, is Cohutta Cohutta Wilderness here, which is adjacent to the Big Frog Wilderness across the state line in Tennessee. And this is actually a really cool wilderness area. It's got the Jacks River, I think, flows through it, and the Cohutta River flows through the middle of it. I really enjoyed hiking through the Cohutta Wilderness when I lived in Georgia. That's the only wilderness area I've been to in Georgia. But the Tray Mountain Wilderness area is to the east of there, and it does have a 16.5 mile part of the Appalachian Trail. So if you want to do a section of the Appalachian Trail through wilderness, the Tray Mountain would be a good candidate for that. It is to the north, the northeast of Atlanta, just a little bit south of the North Carolina state line. So this is North Carolina here, the western end of North Carolina. This is Tennessee over here, and this is Georgia down here, and the Tray Mountain Wilderness. As you can see, North Georgia does have a few wilderness areas in the Appalachian Mountains here. I think it's pronounced Appalachians. It's the correct pronunciation. I don't know. I'm a Westerner. I lived in Georgia for a year and a half, but I'm not really sure. Tray Mountain. So let's go back and see if it has any pictures. Some of these have images. There's one picture. Yep, pretty typical Appalachian type of scenery there. Rolling forested mountains. Yep. Okay. Let's see if we can find any other images. Okay, that's pretty. Yeah, look at that footbridge over the stream there in the fall foliage. That's really pretty there. I think fall would be a good time to go there. That's a great picture right there. Definitely has some streams flowing through it. That's pretty nice. It's got some waterfalls here. Tray Mountain. Definitely very Appalachian, classic Southern Appalachian type of environment. Tray Mountain hiking, got some good high views from up above there as well. Yeah, I would definitely go here if I was in the Georgia area and had a couple of days to go hiking. I would seek out the Tray Mountain Wilderness and maybe do the 16.5 mile stretch of the Appalachian Trail through here. I like North Georgia. It's a pretty area. I enjoyed my time there. Cool. Okay. Well, we're going to call it today. The Tray Mountain Wilderness is random wilderness number 2 that we've selected. The first one before in my other video, if you want to check it out, was Upper Burro Creek in northwestern Arizona. So 2 very different areas. Tray Mountain Wilderness. All right. I guess I'm going to call it good then. That's one random wilderness area that we did today. This is kind of a fun exercise. I'm going to try to do this on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. I'll spin the wheel, land on a random wilderness area, and together we'll look into what it's all about. All right, thanks for watching. If you stick around for the next one or other videos I'm doing. I do backpacking and hiking videos as well. I'm hoping to get out to the desert Southwest in the next few weeks here to do a backpacking trip or some hiking in that area. I'll have a video on that as well. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. Thank you.